Hello, everybody. Bienvenido a todo. Welcome to Train Sim World 2 again with me, Val Brut, and we are today going to do Luzern, Sursee, the SBB Swiss route developed by River Games, and it was released about 2-ish weeks ago, maybe more like 1.5 weeks ago. I can't remember exactly. And it's a shortish route. Shouldn't ever really take you more than like a timetable service should never really be taking you more than 40 minutes. And I think most can be done in about 30, 35, maybe. Um, it introduces European train control system to the game. And it's a Swiss standard gauge route with a Stadler, I think it's a Stadler Flirt type train. Um, well, RABe 523, but that doesn't mean anything if you're outside of the Swiss, if you're not a Swiss train spy, I suppose. Um, but let's get started. There isn't that long to set up the train, but it shouldn't be a faff. I don't. This train is easy to set up. I think you basically just need to turn the train lights on because passenger lights on, and we are using a. We're doing a regional express service, so I'm going to put regional express to Basel. Go. Already I can close the doors, and I'm going to put your the ETCS to level 0 because I do not want it to enforce my rate curve. So, as you can see, we are leaving Luzern, the beautiful station. Modern, but kind of with a classical rail shed too. Um, and the Stadler Flirt looks gorgeous. Very nice train, modeled beautifully. And we're doing this at like midday so you can get it as bright and clear as it can possibly be. Um, this is the only train included, so all of the AI will be this train, basically. Um, it's not a super busy route. Oh, look, there we go. But it does have those timings, like most of the time when you leave, another train is coming in. Um, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like a simple route. It is simple A to B, but it's quite cute. Um, it's nice to have another Swiss route, and this one's standard gauge, so this train can be used on other routes if you wanted to. Um, but I think they removed the livery designer functionality for it because they didn't have the license for it, which is a shame, but oh well. And this train does have like a cruise control-y type thing. So it's almost like it works. It's very similar to AFB. You can set it at what speed you want to go to, and then max out the throttle, and it will just go to that speed and no further. And then when you bring it down, it will bring the speed of the train down too. I do tend to like putting the power back down though, because you will need to like use the accelerator as the brake, and it can take like a good couple of seconds to get from 100% throttle to brake. So I like to like if it can maintain the max speed on it, I'll put it down as low as I can, the throttle. Now I think we have a stop here, a stop there, and then maybe one or two up here, and then we stop at Sursee. So we do get some like speedy-ish runs. Not nothing fast, but we do get up to 160, I think, for like a couple of minutes. I think it's a fantastically modelled route as well. Like it really does capture like you're in Switzerland. It isn't the busiest route, so yeah, that's a shame, but it's not. It's kind of like one of those little compact routes that you can kind of like spend some time on without feeling like, oh God, I'm trapped now that I've committed to something. You can come in, do a route, do a service, and then leave, and it'd be like, oh, that was cute. And it does give you, if you want to play around with ETCS and get familiar with it, it gives you that opportunity. Which is why I quite like it. And I do think that like maybe Rivet's plan is to like develop some more standard gauge routes like this, and they could possibly release a new train which would layer onto this. So you never know. I would love the Pendolino. Oh, no, is it a Pendolino they use in Switzerland? I think they have a Pendolino, but they also have another tilting train which isn't a Pendolino. Um, I would love that. Oh, need to start braking, I think. The brakes on this are quite strange. It's not the best braking train, if I'm honest. So yeah, I'm constantly like going very high up in the brake range to get the train slow down enough. But I think that's because the like blended brake throttle is like a dynamic one, so it isn't as good as the slower you get. So you have to hawk it up. This does have rush hour passengers apparently. I mean, I guess it has the variation, but it doesn't have the volume. I mean, it kind of makes sense because you wouldn't expect this to be like a super busy route, I guess. Now, come on. Oh, I'll lock the doors now and take off the brake, and then I can leave exactly on cue. I mean, sounds great as well. Looks great. Brilliant. So where are we now? Yeah, so we've like already travelled a fair distance. Um, and now we get to go through the um, around this curvy sort of. I guess it goes around a hill. We get to go around here to there, and then after this we'll be able to get some decent speeds, I think. We've got 90 at the moment. That's not too bad, and we'll get to 110. But then I think we'll have to, or we'll, yeah, I think we'll have to slow down before we get to 110 for the next station. Because remember, this is measuring distances like from just from here, like the distance it's measuring to the next station is from here to there. It's not measuring the length of the track. That's not how the distance measuring works in this game. Oh, we should talk about the Skybox. Lovely new Skybox. So every game that has a TSW2 Skybox has this now. This Skybox. And it looks great. So much better than the original. I mean, there are still some routes, like I mentioned in my previous video, some of the older TSW 2020 routes still have the old Skybox, and it looks, for the clouds, look fairly terrible. But they are all going to get upgraded at some point, which will be good, because it really does bring like some freshness to the game, particularly for the older routes where you can't really have any clouds without it looking a bit pixelated and weird. Oh no, wait, we've still got time. Actually, we'll get up to 110. Ooh, speedy. we go. We go to 110, and then we'll need to start braking because we're going to come around this corner, and that distance is going to start shortening very fast. So bring this down power-wise, 20. Just give us some, just maintaining it. Going to start coasting so I lose speed as we go uphill. Ideally I try to be like 50 or less, 50 kilometers or less when I arrive to the platform, the beginning of the platform, and then I can kind of really shove the brakes on. Ooh, it's gonna be a nice stop. Ooh, almost perfect. Hello, little cars. God, I nearly choked on my own breath then. So yeah, these are the things that I think they're grain silos for like beer maybe, or I don't know. That looks like the name of like a brewery. Oh, doesn't it look lovely? Where is the other platform? Ah, back there. Right, I'll close the doors in preparation. Then I'll start setting off about now. Yeah, there we go. Just to give myself a little booster before the next timetable stop. Right, we've got 5 kilometers now, and we can get up to 120. Yeah, I did actually buy from Rivet Isle of Wight. It was on sale, something ridiculously cheap. Like I can't remember how much, like €8 maybe. And it's a short route, so I mean, you know, I think it was something absurd, like 2 kilometers or something, or 2 miles. Um, but it's quite cute. I thought I was quite impressed. I thought, you know, you can get a lot of back and forth from that, different from say. What's the like West Cornwall, where that feels like a long route to drive. That is like 40 minutes, even with the fastest train you can get, and it feels like a slog. Whereas Isle of Wight and this as well, they feel quite light and breezy, like routes you could dip into and out of. You don't have to get yourself too deep into them, or feel like you've had to set aside other things so you can just get from one end to the other. This feels a lot more like I can hop in, do a service, hop out again. It's what I quite like about it. That's what I quite prefer in this game. Whilst also, of course, I have that feeling. Oh, wouldn't it be great to have like a really long line? But yeah, I just think realistically, I have a job to do. I have places to be, people to see. I'm not going to be able to sit very often, sit down and do like an hour and a half on a route. That would just be too long. So they need to be quite short and peppy, I think. And I suspect most people, even if are similar to me, there may be a core contingent of like hardcore who are probably retired and have plenty of time on their hands and will be like, oh my god, give me a 3-hour route. I will happily drive the West Coast Main Line all day, like there and back. Most people don't have that kind of time and wouldn't be able to do that. So I kind of see why the focus isn't on long routes for now. Maybe route mergers would be a way around that, so that people could still do little services per route, but then if they wanted to, they could merge the routes together and have very long routes. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me that it's not something TCG are like, oh my god, we must do it, because I kind of just don't think it's that big a deal for most players. Right, we are coming up to. Oh, we go so fast. So yeah, that's another grain silo, not a skyscraper without windows. I don't know if it's a grain silo or just something silo, but it's storage for some kind of agricultural product, I think. And you see them dotted around Switzerland in a way you don't see them in many other countries. Although you do see very large silos in certain places. They're not really ever in the kind of like city centre places, but Switzerland, because it's so hilly, so you're kind of limited where you can build. Ah, no! Train brake, train brake, bug. Shouldn't be using the train brake to actually stop, I don't think, but... Did I get the... No, dear, well. I'm making good time. Okay, I'm going to put that on 0, and I'll also train brake to 0 as well. Oh, how terrible. Well, most of the train is on the platform. That's how I'll view this. You know, I was there, like 95% is fine. What's 5%? One set of doors where someone just falls onto grass. See if I can time this for the doors closing. Right, come on, doors closed. Goodbye. Sorry, passengers in the first class as well. Ooh. Let's go. I mean, our next stop is quite far. Oh no, our next stop is Sursee. So yeah, we've got 10 kilometers. Oh, this is good. We'll get a nice run with this. So yeah, like I actually think scenery generally in this is quite nice. Like you see that kind of distance with rolling hills, or when you're closer to Luzern, you see like a mountain, and then you do get that kind of small town, rurally, like what you'd expect Switzerland's cities to be like. You wouldn't expect them to be huge metropolises. You'd kind of expect them to be quite compact. After a while, you leave the city and then you get directly into this kind of countryside farmland surrounded by hills. That's what I expect, and I think the game does a very good job. This route does a very good job of like showing that off. Yeah, I can see how like people maybe who like after London commuter or Dresden commutes might be like, this feels a bit too short, or it feels a bit too. There isn't enough content. You just got the one train. Really, only two types of services like Regio Express and the S-Bahn. But you know, I'm quite content to like go back and forth. I'm sure someone will start putting out some nice scenarios for it, because there are a lot of platforms at Luzern. I don't know if you can use them all, but there's a lot. Come on, let's get up to 160. Let's show you what this baby can do. That's a beautiful train. Like Stadler's version of a Talent 2. And I think this train, the basis of this train, is also used by the Stadler Flirt. Obviously it'll be different in many ways, this exact model. But I think it does it does work in Germany as well. So this could end up being used on a DTG route, a DTG German DLC, or where else might it be used? It's interesting. Maybe in um, the Netherlands or Belgium. Maybe. I don't know. Up we go to the wonderful world of Sursee. I don't know if it's a wonderful world. I've never been there. Switzerland is very high on my list of places to go. And because of where I live, I could theoretically drive there. From Madrid to Switzerland, it wouldn't be too long. Have to drive to like north of Spain, across the south of France, and then be there. Kind of wouldn't be the worst road trip, but okay, yeah, we're coming up to. I'm gonna let the train take me to. Come on. It's not a fact. If you use oh, what's the word for it? Well, the cruise control we'll call it, to like bring down your speed. It doesn't brake super fast, but like it's not too bad either. When this line first originated, when it first started, all of the signals after the stations were red, which meant that you were constantly encountering the speed. Uh, if you use the ETCS one, I think it enforces the speed curve, and I kept coming across it, and it was like, oh no, oh I need to brake, I need to really brake now, super fast. So this is Sursee. This is an endpoint for some of the S-Bahn services, but this regional would carry on. Um, Slowly come in. Here we go. Slowly come in. Nice, nice, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Come on. Break, 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 break. I don't want to go over the end of the platform again. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, wrong doors. Oh no, I didn't mean the right doors. Just the left doors. This route is also funny in that I think it doesn't stop the when you close the doors. I'm being prompted to, like it says lock doors. It won't stop the get. Oh well, it did this time. What I found is that it will count down to the point at which your service was supposed to end. So sometimes you can be waiting for like a minute if you come in very early. Um, Fortunately, I think I came in fairly bang on time, and I got a gold. Not bad. Um, C, distance driven, 25 kilometers. 25 point, well, just about 26. So it's a short route. I mean, the longer routes are more like, what, 50 to 60? So yeah, this isn't a long route, but it's pleasant. That's how I would describe it. It's a pleasant, maybe even twee experience for Switzerland. And I kind of recommend it if you let me think if you like what route would you have to like this? If you like Cathcart Circle, this might be one for you. Cathcart Circle obviously has a bit more of a service variation because there's different routes around the circle into the branches, but it's one train operating in a very small, specific environment with no outside sort of AI or layers. Whereas this is very similar to that, even if it doesn't have the kind of different service patterns, like it's a kind of A to B route. Um, there aren't any branches that are going to make life very interesting, but there's like, depot runs, things like that. Any others? Um, Not really like any of the rush hour routes. Not really like any of the German routes, I don't think. Um, yeah, Ten Circle I think would be the best deal. Or Isle of Wight. If you liked Isle of Wight, then you'll like this. Because they're both cute little routes. This one is significantly longer than Isle of Wight, by the way. Isle of Wight is ridiculously short. Um, and you know what? Maybe if you like Bakerloo Line as well, this would be up your alley because it's a closed little system basically, with the one kind of rolling stock that's very well modelled. Um, and yeah, it's nice to learn ETCS. There may be a bug or two with it. I've seen mention of that on the forums. Um, and yeah, it can be annoying when you encounter things like that. But I don't know because they've changed the signaling slightly if the problem still persists because you don't come across red lights anymore. But you probably still come across speed reductions, which may be worse. Um, yeah, so on balance, good DLC. Maybe not everyone's cup of tea, but certainly no massive obvious reasons why you wouldn't want to buy this. It's definitely maybe I don't know, like West Cornwall for me, I get a lot of gameplay from because it's that kind of British route that kind of reminds you of the past. But this one, I don't know. I feel like maybe it has been a slightly better built route. Um, Certainly looks good. Um, Evokes Switzerland. The train's very good. So yeah, maybe those two joint best for Rivet. Um, Certainly like a high-ish watermark, high standard. In my opinion, I obviously don't know this absolutely every sound this train should make, or every acceleration behavior it should have, or every brake behavior. But I think it does a good job. It feels a bit different from other trains. A bit punchier in acceleration and a bit more slow with the brakes. It looks nice. So yeah, overall, I would put this like 7, 8 out of 10 easily. Um, Lacking just because I mean it's not a very long route, so, and it doesn't have many service variation, but for what it is, it's good. So yeah, there we go. I hope you enjoyed this, and as ever, comments, requests, all welcome. Um, And I shall. Let me check the time. I'll get on and probably do the Harlem a Harlem review, like video after this, so I can bang out 3 videos in one weekend. For now, though, have a good afternoon, weekend, week, day, however you wish to spend your time. Goodbye.